Recording as we speak here.
Beautiful.
Okay, Aaron, why don't we start with you? Let me go into the plan here, and I believe this was yours, right?
Well, I'm also opening it up on my end, so let me take a look here. The yes, training.
Okay, so let me generate the operational plan report here. Okay, so under the training group, we had operational plan test with your initials, attend VMSG trainings as goal one, schedule and attend all 6 trainings to ensure that staff attends training. The only thing I saw in here, everything looks great, by the way. At the objective level, you might want to put in a little bit more information. Schedule all
Okay,
trainings by some certain date because you're scheduling the trainings and then attending the trainings. And it would kind of make sense to have a timeline in there.
great.
But other than that, everything looks great. Let's see the activities here. You had attend all 6 trainings before the end of the first week. Great. Personally attend all trainings. Had the dates in there. Yeah, perfect. I don't see any problem at all with it, other than a little bit, if you will, smarter objectives in there.
Great.
Good job. Okay, that was
Thank
easy.
you so much.
Okay, let's go back here to our groups here, and I think we had. Is this you, Sylvia? Selena? Sylvia, sorry. Okay,
Selena, yeah.
Selena. Okay, let me. I believe. Let me take a look down here. Complete.
I don't think I did any of it right, but
Well, no. The only thing I was looking at initially was that potentially you had everything up a level too high. But then I did see that you had under one of these, you did have some objectives. So let me go ahead and generate the operational plan report again here. Okay, so realistically, prepare policies and procedures for QA accreditation probably sounds more like a goal than it does an initiative, but there's no definite thing in there. So, and then the goal: complete all 5 policies and procedures in draft from ready to review by March 31st. Again, that's more of a smart objective, but again, it still works because when I get to the activity level, you broke the activities down a little bit down here at the bottom. Hold on. So, yeah, and then the only thing I saw was based on what you have in here, like research all regulations and codes. You put it as a quality assurance activity, meaning that it's something that's repetitive, and you had it measured on a weekly basis. I would probably put that in there as a project-based activity, and just have a timeline in there that when you're going to complete the research. Does that make
got
sense?
it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just trying to play around with the settings a bit.
Oh no, that's great. And the other thing I see down in your activities here is, let's go look at the actual activities. So objective 4 here, goal objective 4, get down to the activities. Um, yeah, if you're going to put in a QA activity, we'll go to the wizard here, put in some kind of a metric type. So you put in,
Okay.
say, what was it? Research,
Ah,
regular
okay.
research all regulations. Okay, regulations and codes research maybe.
Okay.
And then we'll see when shows up down here: regulations and codes researched, measured weekly, green, yellow, and red. So
Okay.
something along that line, just to complete the performance metric. Um, but other than that, the structure is very good. Like I said, initially I thought maybe you were a level too high, but if you're going to take it down to the activity level like this, then it makes more sense to have it the way you did. So all is good. Were there any questions or anything that you wanted to go over?
I did have some like 20 minutes ago, but they're out of my head right now.
Well, we'll go over Raider stuff, and then maybe they'll come back popping into your head here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and save that. No, I won't update it. Okay. Raider, I believe you put a plan under the tobacco group. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, let's go take a look at that. Um, in-game goal.
Yeah. So one, for this, let's see, the group maybe should be health ed, and so maybe here's when it's just tobacco in general.
Yeah. When I looked at your plan, it was something tobacco cessation almost related. So that could be another initiative would be something to do with tobacco cessation. But let's go ahead and drill down into your plan here. Again,
Well,
go ahead.
it does change how I do it because if we go down to goals, that's where cessation might go for the tobacco program. If that makes sense.
Yeah, when I got down to the objective level, the objective is very nice. It's very specific. However, when I read it through, it looks like there's actually two objectives in here. So starting down here might be actually a second objective, and then having activities underneath there to do that. So it looks like you're saying we're going to increase the number of community-based organizations working with us, and then the new organization partners will engage in at least one joint activity. So to me, that's kind of two different objectives. Does that make sense?
Is it, so I basically just copy and pasted from my scope of work. Are you kind of suggesting that's not the best way to do it?
Well,
Then,
no, I understand what you're saying. If somebody presented it to you that way, then yeah, go ahead and do it because you're planning against somebody else's, or you're operating against somebody else's plan. However, if I was developing this plan personally, I would break that down into two different objectives because it's kind of two different things. But if it's a plan that you're working on, leave it the way it is. That's great.
Okay.
And then we get down to the activities.
Again, really quickly, Fred, I just want to make sure I'm understanding too. There's no restriction on how many objectives a goal can have.
Nope, none.
Awesome.
You can have as many, at the group level, you can have groups and subgroups, and they can go down to 10 levels deep. At the service initiative level, you can have as many as you want, and each of those can have as many goals, each can have as many objectives. So there is no limitation. That's why the pyramid gets really wide down at the bottom here.
Great.
Okay, when you get down to the activity level, these again look great. The only thing I would suggest, you had where did documents go? Did we not go over document management last time?
you may.
I thought you went over. I thought you went over in the training.
Okay.
I think you did, but I think it might have been pretty brief. I like re-reviewed the training for that, and I still got a little hung up on it. I figured it out eventually, but
This button right here on every screen is your document management. So if you add a document to attach here, you're going to click on this guy. You're going to open it up. It's going to say choose a file, and I'll just put a random file in here for now. I got a little test directory here, and I'll just put in this particular document. And when it appears there, I'll say upload. And so we have the document in there, and you're going to put in document test. Then you change the traffic light, put in notes in here, anything you want to do, and save it. So those documents you were referring to back here in your activities, customized membership tracking form, matrix of outcomes, that's how you attach the documents in there.
Is there a way to list them out for staff if they were loading them up?
I'm sorry.
Or, so when we do our progress reports, those are the documents we need to submit. I guess maybe in the notes section is where I can do a bullet point list of these are the ones that need to be submitted.
Yeah, or the documents will all show up in here. So if you had all the different documents attached, every different version will show up in here. You can get to, but you can also then, as you said, you can go in and put in the notes, attach documents ABC or something like that.
Okay. And going back to the first question, for the goal at the state level is to end commercial tobacco, but that can be a little politically dicey.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's smart to put. I think we do have a theory of change somewhere for the grant itself, so that might have better verbiage.
Yeah, put something in there, like you said, that's not politically a problem. Just something in there that managing tobacco going forward, or whatever it happens to be, whatever you want to do that you'll understand, everybody else would understand, but it's not going to tick anybody off when they read it.
Perfect.
Now, the one other thing that I want to just let everybody know, and this is kind of one of those things you wouldn't know unless we talked about it. For an activity to appear in the operational plan report, it has to have an end date. So everything like this, you got annually customize and distribute. You could have made this a QA activity with an annual cycle, but typically on an annual cycle, things are going to change over the course of a year. So you might want to put in, 7/1/25 through 6/30/26 or whatever is the dates in there at this point in time. But again, unless it has an end date, it's not going to show up in the operational plan report. Any other questions, Jad Reader?
I don't think so. So I'm double clicking on the end date right now. Nothing's happening. How do I edit an end date for the activity?
Just click on it and type in, or click the little calendar next to it.
I'll play with it. It's not working.
Yeah, it could also be because we're both on the same activity too.
Sure.
What else?
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're going into this kind of stuff where you have an existing plan that you need to get in the system and you got some questions, feel free to send it over my way. I'll be happy to take a look at it and kind of get the structure going for you.
Perfect.
Okay. Let's go back to here. Okay. Ginger, did you have the chance to put a plan in the system? She may not be able to hear us yet. Yeah, it looks like she's not connecting all the way. I didn't see any other plans in there, so.
Is there a way, Fred, for me to view, for any of us really, to view what was most recently added or edited?
Well, down here it says on each activity it says modify user and date. So it says Aaron modified this on 3/7/25.
Right, but is there like a collective section instead of me like clicking through all of the activities where I could look at
Um,
that?
It's a good question here. I've got some reports I can run here. I'm not sure. I don't remember who has full access to them, but like an org utilization report, I can look at and it'll show you the utilization. So it'll show you who did what,
Oh, okay.
basically. And if you need
Okay.
that, just let me know. I'm not sure. Go look at it on your reports menu and see if you have that report. Again, I'm not sure.
I should have that.
Yeah, if not, it's one of those things that only I can get to. But take a look, and if you do have it, if not, just send me an email and I'll run the report for you and send it to you.
What is that one called? I'm sorry.
Org utilization report.
Okay, yeah, I'm not seeing that one.
Okay. Let's see. Now, the other thing you can do is you can go look at your users. If I go to the user screen here, over on the right, you have this column. It says last activity. So this is the last time any of them
Oh, yeah,
did anything. And
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
okay. And then this is the last update. What that means is they actually did something in the system. Activity could be just logging in. Update means they actually entered something in the system and hit the save button on something.
Great.
Hi, Ginger.
Hi there.
Did you happen to have a chance to put a plan in the system?
I did not, no.
Okay.
I think that's maybe what Aaron was talking about, our homework, but I actually had to leave our last meeting early to attend to something during the ending of that. So I did not have that to do, but I will, as soon as I locate the link of how to access it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send the recording of today's review over. I'll ask Aaron to forward it to you so you can kind of look at what we did today, and then maybe you could just go in and build your own plan. And if you would like to just, after you build it, just send me an email and saying, here's my plan. It's under the training group, and away you go.
Okay. I can do that.
After I get the link for this session, just for everybody's sake, I will go ahead and send out the full training link for each one of the sessions. I have a document that I've been capturing all of that in, and I'll also provide Fred's email address in that as well.
Awesome. And as you're going through this, like I say, the idea today was just to get you in the system and let you play around a little bit and kind of try to figure the things out. That's how I learned anyhow. So I want everybody to be able to do that. But as you're going through and really starting to put your plans in there, and again, if you have any questions or you got a plan that says, I'd like to get this started in the system, please feel free to send it my way. I'm good at just kind of going in. I call it structuring it into the system. So get the plan levels right in there. Maybe take one of the initiatives all the way down to the activity level, and then you can go and look at it. And it usually kind of goes, aha, it's kind of easy to do. Well, that's all I had for today. If you don't have any other questions, I will let you folks get back to work. And if you need anything, you know where to find me.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time today.
My pleasure. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
You do.